just pick up. So rather relative to what I would prepare dads for, who will get this information is second thing is, or the next thing is your wife or the mother of your child. Her happiness is the baby's happiness, is the family's happiness. So as we're taught as Muslims that the woman's job, that in our finding a mate or a woman, her job is as a helpmeet to help us meet our goals. And the minister, Honorable Minister Farrakhan, taught us that a man who doesn't have goals doesn't need a woman, because you don't, if her job is to help you meet your goals, then if you don't have goals, then you don't need a woman, because she can't help you do nothing. She got to help you do something. But I learned that a part of our mission as well, a part of that is to merge, when you're finding a wife, is to merge your goals with hers, which means her passions you have to consider. You have to make sure her passions are met. So if she likes to travel, you gotta figure that out to make sure that that she can still maintain her passion, because you want your child to be happy. So a part of that happiness is to make sure she's happy and feels fulfilled. Now, not to say that you gotta spend all your money trying to do that, but you gotta do your best, because that's a big part of being a father. Is you're the head of a household, and you have to understand how to keep peace in that household. And so part of that piece is to make sure that she's happy, so that your child can stay in a peaceful state, in a peaceful environment. So, things that I'm continuously learning is, you're learning a baby. You're learning his likes, his dislikes. You're learning, who he is in this very young state. So it's when it comes to things that I would prepare new dads for, it's really that agility. Make sure you're thinking on your feet. Make sure you're prepared for what you don't know. You're prepared on how to react, on maintaining and controlling your emotions, so that you can think wisely. In The Godfather, it's talked about women and children can be careless, but men can't afford to be careless, which means we can't think out of the emotional portion of our brains, or we can't make decisions out of the emotional portion. We have to make decisions out of a portion of our brains that maintain control. Because if we're the directors of the family, we have to know that our women are looking for us to do that, even though she's fully capable of directing the family. But she's going to relinquish that portion of her brain to allow you to do so. But you got to be prepared to take the ball. So I'm learning a lot as I'm coming through. These only 2 months now, so in the last 2 months, really the last 11 months if I'm counting 9 while she was pregnant, I've learned a lot. I'm going to continuously stay a student, to continuously learn. And sometimes I just sit back and just look at him, read the scripture to him and just look at him, and I feel what I feel when my dad, and I'm speaking sometimes, and I see him just sit back and look at me, and start tapping into that other emotion of yourself. But it's a beautiful experience, but you have to be mentally prepared in order to come into fatherhood, because it's the biggest accomplishment of your life, biggest responsibility, biggest risk. Where there's no risk, there's no reward. So the reward is us being able to take what reality that we're trying to create into the future. But we have to understand that we have to have a defined vision of what we want to accomplish to know to bring someone into that vision. Because I have to define a role or a path for him. Now, he's going to be able to decide what he wants to do when he gets older, but I actually have to have a thought for him to go down. My dad never forced me to do anything, really, besides, stuff that my mom wanted me to do, clean my room, shit like that, stuff like that. But when it came to going to the mosque, he never forced me to go to the mosque, not once, that I can ever remember. He never forced me on my decision to become an engineer. He never forced me on my decision to go to school. He gave me recommendations, and not even forceful recommendations, very passive recommendations. But because of the type of man that I saw in him, like who better else I want to be like? My dad, everybody respected him. He's the oldest of 10 brothers and sisters. He had high responsibility as a young person. So I always admired that, and I just wanted to do, things similar to him. He never pushed me down architecture because he knew how hard it was as a black architect. But he didn't really even guide me toward engineering. It just kind of felt like a natural, innate direction. And I pray I can give my son the exact same type of experience where he'll just see his dad and admire what he does and take on a profession or a path that would complement what he does, so that we can take the brand, the business, the family forward and building a mogul as we're trying to do now. Like, one of my goals is to build myself in engineering so I can get my license and work with my dad, so that he doesn't have to hire out. We can build a conglomerate of a business. And I pray Issa can do something similar as he takes whatever I'm able to build forward. So, I've learned a lot relative to being a dad, and I pray to Allah that I remain a student, so I continue to learn from my experiences and learn from him, because he's teaching me every day. Allah is using him to teach me a lot of lessons, and that I have to stay focused on my goals, because I can't continuously work a job trying to build a God. It's impossible. Which means I have to do for myself so that I can open up the door for him to do for the world. And a part of the name that we chose for him is Al-Allah, which is the 87th surah of the Holy Quran, which in that it says, he creates and makes complete. He measures then guides. So I expect him to create, but not just create, I expect him to finish what he creates. And after he's able to finish that, he's able to measure what he's done, meaning that he can judge it, and then he can guide those to do the same. So I put a heavy name on his shoulders, because I definitely expect a lot out of him, as a lot was expected out of me. And I pray that Allah can fulfill what I've been born to do, and in that vein, allow him to do the same. So I hope I answered the question. Not sure.